Sall Grover is the CEO of women's only app Giggle for Girls, and she's been in New Zealand since last week to talk about the Tickle v Giggle case, which is the biggest legal case for women's rights in decades, which echo well beyond Australia. The case is about women and girls having the rights they need for their dignity and safety and for protecting these rights in law. And of course, Sall is here to meet as many Kiwis as she can. And I think it's gone well. Well, I only know what happened last week because I joined her on Thursday in Auckland and it was, I thought, a great night. We had a great time. And that's what kicked it off. Then Sall went to New Plymouth, Wellington, and tonight is her last night in Christchurch. And a friend of the show, she is with us. Hello, Sall.
Hi there, how are you?
I'm good. I wish I could have come with you on the tour though. It was such a fun night last Thursday and I was just kind of thinking when I left, oh, bugger, I'd love to have come to all of them. But I know there were some fantastic guest speakers as well. So firstly, how has it all gone?
It's been amazing. I've just, seen so much of this beautiful country and met amazing New Zealand women in Auckland, New Plymouth and Wellington, and then tonight I'll meet a bunch more in Christchurch. And I have to say, I think that women's rights are in really good hands in New Zealand. Women are smart, they're organised, they're passionate about it, they're ready to go. So I'm not that worried about New Zealand women overall. I think it's going to be fine.
Right. So what happened in Wellington? Was there a little fracas, something last night?
Oh, It was quite amusing. So basically there was a group called the Queer Endurance in Defence, and they described themselves as radical queers fighting for queer rights and liberation through self-organised action. Oh. And they put some posts online saying that they were going to come and protest the event. So the event was women talking about women's rights, a lot of women from all ages, but most of which are women in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, who want to cause no threat or physical threat to anybody else. But these activists decided that they were going to come and protest. Now, I'm all for a peaceful protest, and they stated that that's what it was going to be. It would be a peaceful protest, but also that they would come into the venue and basically use all of the noise creators that they had to cause so much noise that we wouldn't be able to be heard. And Jill Evans, who is the co-leader of the Women's Rights Party, who have brought me over,
yes,
she's a brilliant organizer and fantastic at what she does. And so she actually organized two different venues. So we were able to change from one venue to the other without the protesters knowing, and our event went perfectly, and there was many of us in the room talking about women's rights while the protesters were down the street protesting to an empty room. But they did somehow it was very amusing. But they did turn up. We were only about half an hour into the event when we could hear them outside, and they were really, really loud, and we were behind locked doors and big walls, and we could still hear them. So they were definitely trying to cause a nuisance and drown us out and not do a peaceful protest. But, as we know with everything with gender ideology, when they say peaceful protest, what they mean is the opposite. So, but everyone was safe and the event was a success, and they're not going to stop women from talking about women's rights.
No, brilliant. So then I'm taking from that the general vibe that you have had at the three rallies thus far has been really positive.
Really, really positive. I mean, there's just so many people who are starting to realise what has been happening in countries like New Zealand, Australia, the UK, America, Canada, where these sort of very extremist concepts and ideologies have infiltrated our laws and our institutions, and they are a threat to everybody else's freedom of speech, freedom of belief, freedom of association. And women's rights really have always been the canary in the coal mine on this, because women's rights were the first to fall. Because the moment a man is allowed to be a woman in the eyes of the law, he can then go into women's spaces and women's sport, thus destroying all of the rights that women have spent decades fighting for. So, it is, I think, one of the biggest issues in our society at the moment, because I think that once the state can make you believe that a man is a woman, it can make you believe anything. And so important for us all to fight back against that. But but as I said, I think that the Kiwi women are doing a really, really, really good job in making sure that women's rights are protected here and ongoing in the future.
Fantastic. So tonight is in Christchurch. Have you heard from any, other organisation that they too want to be there, or is it so far plain sailing?
I think it's too cold, to be honest. I've spent the whole week being like, oh my God, New Zealand weather has been beautiful, because it's been stunning in Auckland, New Plymouth and Wellington. It was like crystal clear blue skies. And it was fresh. Like, it's been cool, but it's been beautiful. And we literally arrived in Christchurch today, and I was like, I take back everything I've said about New Zealand. We're absolutely freezing.